Hello everyone, my name is Perrin, and today I'll be teaching you guys all about NLP, Natural Language Processing, so that anyone with little to no experience at all will be able to create their own AI model and apply it by the end of this video. Topics that I'll be covering are shown on screen right now with their timestamps. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, just before we get started, let me introduce myself a little bit more. My full name is Printapat Pengpan, I'm 15 and I'm currently studying in 10th grade. I started my programming journey out when I was 13 by completing Harvard's CS50 course. Now, since then, I've had about 3 years of experience programming and creating apps, with my latest creation being a full-stack iOS and Android app that I've created for my school. I'm also the champion of AI Builders 2022 with my question generation NLP project. I've also been invited to speak at AWS in Thailand about this project too.
Augmentation is the process of increasing the amount of data that the model has artificially, which basically means you derive new data.
So suffice to say, I have a deep passion for creating artificial intelligence and sharing my knowledge with the world. So let's move into the video. Alright, now let's tackle the big question. What is NLP? NLP is the art of changing words that we speak every day into something that computers can understand. Well, computers don't store information the way that we do. Computer stores information in bits, or ones and zeros in their own memory. How can you make a computer understand the meaning and the similarity of words? And that, in my opinion, is the core of NLP. One example of a widely used NLP task is translation. If you've ever used Google Translate in your life, think about how a computer program must be able to identify the meaning of the word in different languages, as well as see the meaning of the word in that specific context, and then translating it and using its knowledge to change that word into a different word in a different language. Alright, now let's take a look at some other tasks within NLP as well. Machine translation, which I've already talked about. There's also question answering, named entity recognition, sentiment analysis, and natural language generation. So, first of all, question answering. Question answering is all about trying to get the machine to answer your question by giving it some context, as you can see in this image. Next task is called sentiment analysis, and this is all about analyzing the author's intent. Some applications of this would be trying to figure out if a customer review was positive or negative. The next task is called named entity recognition. You will give a model just a whole chunk of text, and the model will classify each word or words as being part of a person's name, a location, a date, or other named entities. And lastly, which I think is the coolest thing, is natural language generation. It's basically an AI model that can generate whole articles, whole essays, or emails for you. And that was it for the tasks that we have. Now we're done with all the theory and can move on into the workshop session, where I'll be guiding you into the world of NLP. This will require a little bit of Python knowledge, but don't be afraid because I'll be guiding you throughout. What I have open here is called a Google Colab. Basically, it is a place where we can write interactive Python code, as well as get access to free GPUs so that we can run our AI models. And I'll be posting the link to this in the description below so that you can follow along with me. Before you do anything, go here into the runtime, click change runtime type, and make sure that this is on GPU, click save, and click connect. So the first thing that we'll want to do here is install the requirements. And now we can get on into the pipeline function. In order to utilize the AI models, we'll be using a module in Python called transformers. Transformers basically gives us access to a ton of AI models that we can use. Pipeline here is a function that wraps over all these AI models and allows us to do simple tasks. like the ones I've described. So the way the pipeline works is you simply just call the pipeline function followed by the task that you want to do. There's also a extra parameter called model that you can choose to get the pipeline to load a specific model for you. So as you can see here, I'm using the model from Helsinki NLP that translates from Thai to English, as you can see right here. Now you may ask, where do we discover these models? On the Hugging Face website. So here you can navigate to huggingface.co and then you can click on the models right here, and then you will see all the models that Hugging Face has to offer. So right now we've instantiated a few models: a classification model, a generation model, question answering model, and a translating model. Let's a sentiment analysis model. You see that the label is positive, meaning that the sentiment of the sentence is positive. Now if I change this to the word hate and then rerun it again, you can see that the label is now negative. The score right here just stands for how confident the model is about its prediction here. Let's move on to the next one, text generation. Here we're giving the generator a prompt and we're asking it to return 3 sequences. So as you can see here, the first one and next one and the last one. Next task is going to be question answering. So as you can see, we specify context and then asked a question. And finally, the last one is machine translation, changing from Thai to English. Now the next part here is going to be a little more hands-on. It's going to be all about training your own AI model. First of all, we're going to be loading in a data set. So this data set is called IMDb. You can find the datasets in the Hugging Face website by clicking datasets right here, and this is the dataset that we're using. So as you can see, this dataset has 2 columns, text and label. So these are movie reviews from IMDb that are classified as either positive or negative. 0 for negative and 1 for positive. Next, we're going to be loading in a model called Distilbert, which is a type of model which you don't have to worry about right now. And we're going to be telling it that we have 2 labels. That means that we want to classify between or 1 and 0. Now, as you can see here, we've instantiated a tokenizer as well. Well, a tokenizer changes words into meaningful representations. As you can see, input IDs. These numbers the computer understands. And now we're going to be using tokenizer to tokenize the whole dataset. Alright, now that that's done, we're going to be just taking a sneak peek at what the dataset looks like. Dataset has this train and test split. The training part we're going to be using when we're training, and the testing part is going to be used to evaluate our model on how good it's doing. Next, we're going to be putting the data into what's called a data collator. A data collator is basically just something that pre-processes the data a little more. In this case, it adds some padding. Basically, it makes the text the same length so that the model has an easier time to understand. Now we're going to be defining some of the training arguments. The important things are just that you're defining a trainer. You're referencing the models, training arguments, train dataset, eval dataset, so on and so forth. Finally, we're going to be hitting train. Now this process will take some time, so I'd advise you to go grab a cup of coffee, go play games, or do some other things. You see about 35 minutes here. So I'll see you when it's done. Alright, now we're done with train, and we'll be applying the model very soon. Now during training, you may have seen that this training loss of value has been decreasing. Well, loss is a measurement of how bad our model is doing. So generally, the lower it is, the better. If you scroll right around here, you can see that it saved the last training in checkpoint 3500 right. And now we'll be loading that model back up in order to make a prediction using the pipeline. This task is called text classification, and then we'll specify the model as our path just now, and let's give it a run. At the end, it prints out the score of 0, which means that this review is negative. So as you can see, this review says silly prosthetic sheep car part set. So our model is quite accurate. If you've made it this far into the video, I'd just like for you to congratulate yourself. However, I did gloss over a lot of details in the video. Therefore, I'd recommend for you these courses in order to learn more about NLP and AI. The first course is going to be the Fast AI course. The Fast AI course will teach you everything that you have to know about AI and will take you practically from 0 to hero. The second course that I want to talk about is going to be the Hugging Face course. This course is recommended to people who have intermediate knowledge of AI already and want to learn more about the transformer models. And my last recommendation is going to be the AIAT MOOC. If you're a Thai person like me, AIAT has high quality Thai language AI content that covers a wide range of topics from NLP, to signal processing, to image processing, and many other things. That's all I have for this video, and I wish you luck on your artificial intelligence journey. See you later.